What happens when the idol of millions of young people is no longer an artist, an athlete, or a scientist, but an influencer showing off of stacks of cash, weapons, and luxury, funded by who know what? Welcome to an era where being a narco is no longer scary. It gets
Yeiko and rose to fame on YouTube by showcasing a lifestyle fit with. Today we're going to talk about a very controversial influencer, Marquitos Toys. He lives in Culiacán, Sinaloa, Mexico, and rose to fame on YouTube by showcasing a lifestyle fit with luxury cars, pranks, and expensive taste. But what really stirred controversy is his friendship with figures tied to drug trafficking, especially Iván Archibaldo, son of El Chapo Guzmán, one of the most notorious drug lords in Mexico's history.
Marquitos Toys, whose real name is Marcos Castro Cárdenas, shares his fame with his siblings, Kevin Aaron Castro Cárdenas, Casey, Gael Castro Cárdenas, and Maybe Castro Cárdenas. And he has close friends like Carlos Arce, El Gordo Arce, and Alejandro Hurtado. Together, they post blogs flaunting the extravagant lifestyle. One of the most controversial moments was when the police captured Nestor Isidro en línea, a top security figure for a cartel, and Marquitos posted an Instagram story crying over his arrest. In December 2024, President Claudia Sheinbaum urged state governors to take full responsibility for public safety. She emphasized that there's not room for political divisions in matter of security, and while the governmental tries to fight crime and violence, influencers like Marquitos Toys continue gaining popularity, glorifying lifestyle connected to drug culture, even if not directly involved in criminal activity.
This influence is real. On March 24 in Hermosillo, Sonora, a group of teenagers surrounded an 18 years old, threatened him with a gun and attacked him with a machete and a knife. They called themselves Los Niños Macheteros and posted the video online. 2 were arrested and the rest are still being investigated. Was it the entertainment imitation? Was it the entertainment imitation or something worse?
At first, everything with Marquitos Toys seemed harmless. My friend started following him for the jokes and the luxury cars. It was fun sharing memes, laughing at the crazy lifestyle, and admiring the fancy cars and gadgets. But little by little, something changed. My friend started picking up on Marquitos' tone, his aggressive jokes, and the attitude of being better than others. He began imitating it, making snarky comments and acting touger without even realizing it. His jokes started to sound meaner, and it wasn't just funny anymore. I tried talking to him, but he brushed it off, saying it was part of the Marquitos vibe. Then we had talk at school about responsible social media use, and that was when it clicked for him. He realized he'd been absorbing toxic attitudes, thinking they were funny or cool, but they were affecting how he treated others. He was discouraged and angry because we didn't understand his way of being. Now, he still follows Marquitos, but with a more critical eye. He enjoys the content, like the cars and humor, but he doesn't let it define how he behaves nowadays. He becomes more aware of what he consumes online and how it impacts him. It's been really cool to see how much he's grown, and I think it helped him become a lot more conscious about the kind of influencer he follows. He got carried away by his favorite YouTuber, thinking that his content he made was for his benefit, and talking to a friend of his who was a former fan of the toys, he reflected and realized that it was wrong what he did for wanting to imitate or be like Marquito.
Everything changed when I started working in a barbershop. There I meet several customers who talked all the time about Marquito. I didn't know him, so out of curiosity I started watching his videos. At first they made me laugh, the bad jokes, the cars, the luxurious life, the way he talked. It all seemed like part of a show. He kept me fast. Without realizing it, I began to copy his way of talking to clients. I used his phrase, made similar jokes, feel more confident because I thought it made look more in character. I even started to treat my colleagues in a drier, more bossy way. I thought that that how you earn respect. But one day a new client gave me a serious look and said, "Do you always talk like that or do you come acting today?" I laughed at first, but his look wasn't a joke. I went home thinking about it. I realized it wasn't me anymore. I was playing a role repeating attitudes that didn't align with my values just because someone else made them look cool. That night, I turned on my cell phone and started thinking about who I really was and how I wanted to treat people. It wasn't about being weak, it was about being authentic. No, I still cut her. I still watch the occasional Marquitos video for entertainment, but I not longer see him as someone to imitate. I understood that not everything you see in networks is an example to follow, and that your personality is worth more than any viral character.
According to a study by Mexico Federal Telecommunication Institute, young people aged 13 to 25 spend more than 4 hours a day on social media, and many follow influencers like Marquitos Toys in your country. Experts warn that his kit of content reinforces ideas of success, massive on easy money, luxury, and fast fame. Will some see it as harmless entertainment, or take it as a life model? Undermine the value education and hard work. University of Navarra study shows that 68% of teens seeing influence has living an ideal life, and 42 have limited at least one behavior seen online. I've been a high school teacher for over 10 years. I've been seeing generations change fashions, come and go, but lately I've been noticing something different. Certain of my students start behaving extremely more challenging, more dancing with each other, and with an obsession for money, cars, and brands. At first, I thought it was just part of adolescence, but I started to hear one name repeat over and over again: Kevin Castro Toys. Profe, have you seen the new Corvette that Kevin uploaded? Or así se habla como Kevin Castro el Chile. I got into watching his video, and that was when I understood. It wasn't just entertainment, it was a mixture of exaggerated luxury, heaven jokes, and a discourse, but the one who doesn't have isn't worth. Some of my students began to repeat that the same speech without fully understanding it. They met lesser classmates with fewer resources. They used phrases as if they were absolute truths. One day, after a class discussion provoked via mockery, I decided to talk to them, not as a teacher, but as someone who also grew up same fears, who seemed to have it all. I told them how when I was young, I also admired people who showed effortless success, but that over time I understood that what is valued is not what is shown, but what is built. I didn't know for being to follow Kevin. On contrary, I told them it's okay to enter, but ask yourself, is this helping be a better person or just making me a act like someone I am not. Little by little, I see change one student.
My friend's story. The studies and what we're seeing online all point to the same thing. The same thing. Influencers like Marquitos Toys deeply shape how young people see success, behavior, and lifestyle. But their influence isn't absolute. Through education and awareness, we can shift from blind admiration to critical thinking. The true power, what we really chose to believe and interpret what we see or don't see. Today we have made an important discovery. Nothing online can change on social media to match real sunlight. Influencers like Marquitos Toys really have an impact, especially on young people who are still figuring out who they are. This is not mere entertainment. It is lifestyle merchandise being packaged as success, respect, and worth. Yet we also noticed that change is enabled. Awareness, open conversation, and education. Awareness, open conversation, and education. With these three factors, we can progress from blind admiration to critical thinking. For after all, what truly holds power is not where we are. The real power lies in how we allow it to shape our behavior.
It wasn't long ago when we looked up to the cars pursued by this person or that famous people who inspired us to make good things happen and help shape your individual futures. Now, lots of young people admire those who can boast a lot of money, weapons, everyday living of luxuries where it came from. Nobody cares actually. We now have an narco era. It even gives your followers won't make any difference in terms of value, looks of authority and power online. Usually cover violence, insecurity or more marriage. Today's stories how demonstrates one point clearly influence is genuine. Has taught is no knowledge know that the most powerful thing you are is aware watch and think about that you watch, follow and whom you follow. Reputation cannot be enough and it's earned.
Now, here's the challenge. The next time you are scrolling through your feed, instead of just tapping like, ask yourself this question. Is what I'm liking helping me to grow or pushing me in the opposite direction from who I want to be? Consider what you consume, reflect on who it is what has your admiration, and then decide with purpose who deserves your attention. Because in a world of filters and glory, simply being real is revolutionary. Always remember this. It is up to you to decide who gets your attention, and is doing so. So to choose where the power lies. You don't have to live in luxury to be valuable. You do not have to attract followers in order to achieve respect. The most important thing really is to be a decent person even if nobody is looking.